So lots of people are asking, how do I know that I have superpowers? And that's not like asking, like, how do I know that I have superpowers? Because I've already told you how I know that I have superpowers. But it's more like, how do you know that you have superpowers? Well, it's a common question. Lots of people ask it. And there's a couple ways to answer this question. You can look back into your family history, do some genealogy work, and find out if you have ancestors that have superpowers. And that's, one way to go at it. An easier way to do it, lots of people do it this way, and I've done it this way, is you contact a super society of super affairs. I've already talked about them a little bit, and, they do a lot of stuff, pertaining to superpowers. One thing that they do is they'll come over and they'll evaluate your superpower and find out if you actually have superpowers or not, and they'll document it if you end up having superpowers. A lot of people ask, how do I know that I have superpowers, or, why would I even ask that question? And it's a good question to ask. Lots of people who don't have superpowers think that they do have superpowers. And it's, a common misconception. The person who's stronger than everybody else in their high school doesn't necessarily mean that they have super strength. It just means that they're really strong. Or the person that wins every single track meet ever doesn't necessarily mean he has super speed. It just means that he's super fast. And besides that, there's, if you do have super speed, then you're not allowed to compete in those track meets anymore, which means that you can't win any more competitions because it's unfair to all the other competitors. So if you do have super speed, it's kind of nice to not, find out for sure and get documentation, or else then you'll never be allowed to compete ever again. So make sure that, you know what you're doing when you go to contact a super society of super affairs, because, you get kicked out of a lot of stuff. You also can't break world records, The person with super strength can't break a world record for lifting the car above their head. It's just, you gotta be careful with this kind of stuff. So basically, you're gonna get tested anyways if when you go to break a world record. But when you're in high school, you don't have to worry about it as much. They don't care. So, here's how you contact a super society of super affairs. You get a spotlight, and you get a cover for the spotlight that spells out the initials, Super Society of Super Affairs. It's SSOSA. Remember that, SSOSA. That's how you contact the Super Society of Super Affairs. You contact them by shining that light into the sky. Make sure it hits a cloud, because if it doesn't hit a cloud and it just hits like the night sky, then it's not going to be visible at all. Make sure you do it at night too, because if you do it during the day, I don't know who would do it during the day, but if you do it during the day, it's not going to work. They're never going to be able to see it. So, make sure you get that spotlight, shine it on a cloud at night, and it should be able to spell Super Society of Super Affairs, the SSOSA. So, remember that, SSOSA. That's the Super Society of Super Affairs. Now, do that, and they'll come over and they'll evaluate you and everything. Well, I think it's about time that, I be quiet and let you get on with your day. So, until tomorrow, I'll see ya.